Okay, so I know I said I lost my notes for the Royal Rumble, and I did. And I have a head like a fucking sieve. But for me, it was a fucking awesome pay-per-view. Really, really enjoyed it. I think they had a sick opener with Kevin Owens against Dean Ambrose. Maybe I'm just like too much of a fucking smug or whatever, but I do hate to see Kevin Owens continuously fucking lose. Like, Jesus Christ. These feuds he's in always seem to be really one-sided. Like, I don't remember him getting the upper hand in that. I feel like Ambrose beat him for the title. I assume he beat him the second time they went up against one another. And now he's beat him in the Last Man Standing. And every time, like, Owens has just fucking tore the house down, as has Dean Ambrose. But, like, Owens has such a fucking presence. He's such a unique character. He's such a fucking asshole. And it's absolutely brilliant. Because he's massively over with the crowd. But most of the crowd who's into Owens want to cheer Owens. And, like, his fucking job every single match, every single night, is to go out there and flip that and make you hate him. Because you like him, not because he's playing to the crowd as a babyface. You like him because he's a fantastic talent. And he's got a really good work rate and amazing moveset. And you also, like, there's something endearing about him being such a dick. Anyway, huge Kevin Owens fanboy, evidently. So it bummed me out to see Dean Ambrose win that match. But it was a good match. And what are you going to do? The Usos versus The New Day, which was, The New Day are beautiful. The Usos, fuck man, like they are so stale. It's just sad. Like even like they I feel like they were over at one point with sort of kids and young girls, like the John Cena sort of demographic, if you want to call it that. Not single moms, but probably single moms, parents and kids, mostly kids. Anyway, the Usos were up with that. The kids loved it. The colourful attire, the silly face paint, the ridiculous war dance, and then the hip hop, which to me, I'd never understood that. That makes no sense. Anyway, heritage apparently. What was the point I'm trying to illustrate here? Yeah, so the Usos just have no fucking like babyface heat at the moment. They're just there. Whereas the fucking New Day are tearing the goddamn house down every week. The crowd went nuts. Was it in Orlando? I think it was. Wherever it was. They went absolutely nuts the New Day, as they do everywhere. And the thing, similar to Kevin Owens, but to a greater degree, in fact, the New Day have this weird dichotomy where they're heels, but they're getting massive babyface pops and reactions to a lot of stuff they do, because it's fucking entertaining. And, entertainment is something that's so desperately missing from WWE these days, let's be honest, in large volumes at least. So what's cool about the New Day, like I say, they're getting these big reactions, and there was a great moment in the match when the crowd burst out into a chant for Francesca, the trombone, whatever the fuck it is. And Xavier Woods did the right thing, which was he just fucking dropped it to the ground, and then everyone in the arena boos, and you get heat on him, which is good, because you need to get heat on the New Day, because they're not fucking babyfaces. Just because they're getting a babyface reaction doesn't mean that they need to play up to that. So it was good that he didn't. So that gets a little bit of heat. And at that point, hopefully the dream is that the fans can look at the Usos and then, understand they're the baby faces because Xavier just didn't give you what you want. He said, fuck you. The match was great, as they always are, because these current young generation wrestlers are all just athletic as fuck. And it's pretty awesome. But no one really cares about the Usos, let's be honest. And I have that horrible pit of the stomach feeling that any day now they're going to turn the New Day babyface and just neuter what it is that makes them likable now. Because I don't know if you heard the Chris Jericho podcast for the New Day from a few months back, but he said when Vince McMahon pitched the gimmick of the New Day, it was completely straight-faced. There was no irony, which is why it stunk so much in the beginning. He said, kids will love it. You'll be colourful, you'll be animated, you'll be positive. They're going to love it. They're going to be so into it. And at the time, the guys were just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Is he serious? This isn't 1988. Anyway, what happens? They go out there, they're kissing babies and they're kissing fat chicks and all that shit, and the whole thing fucking bombed. I'm not quite sure the point I was trying to illustrate with this, but perhaps it's the fact that Vince McMahon's slightly out of touch, or greatly out of touch. Anyway, moving swiftly on. The Divas match, whatever, it was a good match. I feel like they rushed a lot of the spots in this match, because if you notice, there's not a lot of selling. They just went from one move and then up to the next, then up to the next, up to the next. There wasn't a lot of downtime. And probably, in the WWE, they cut their time a lot or didn't allocate them a lot of time to begin with. But anyway, ultimately, the thing you take away from that match is another instance of Ric Flair helping Charlotte win. through cheating. So again, a lot of heat on Charlotte, like heat on Flair. That's great. Or the Flairs. And then, of course, Sasha Banks comes out at the end of the match, and the fucking crowd goes absolutely wild. So awesome. Everyone's worried that they've been booking her, or not booking her at all, really, since the Divas Revolution began. And it's awesome to see her still get that reaction, even though they've not done a lot with her. And you also, get the feeling that, maybe this was what they're waiting for the whole time. It's not that they were not acknowledging the talent, but they're waiting for that WrestleMania moment, which is clearly what this is building up to. Hopefully Sasha Banks against Charlotte at WrestleMania, which should be fucking sick. If you're watching any of the NXT stuff, like those girls, absolutely incredible when they're given time, like anyone. When they're given time, they're amazing. You can have Kurt Angle against Chris Benoit, not now, go for 30 minutes, it's the most amazing thing you've ever seen. If they go for 8, probably not. But it's just down to the time restrictions. You can't tell a story within that time frame. Anyway, once again, moving swiftly on. I hope there's nothing else on the card, because if there is, I've glossed over it. The Rumble itself, really enjoyed it this year. The crowd got more of what they wanted. I mean, the last 2 years, like the Rumble pay-per-view is closed to a chorus of fucking boos and a triumphant babyface standing on the top rope of the title, like, ugh. That doesn't look good for the product, I don't think, when that happens. Or maybe it does. Maybe any reaction's a good reaction, but I don't think so in those instances. Anyhow, best moment in the Rumble, the biggest mark-out moment in probably years was when AJ Styles came out. Oh man, the crowd just was fucking crazy for that shit. I swear he got a bigger pop than Lesnar, and that's fucking sick. No disrespect to Lesnar. What was weird about it though, they cut to Roman's face, and he's like, looking all, quizzical and shit. And you don't really know why, and then you just hear the crowd go fucking crazy, and the camera cuts to AJ. But after the Rumble, a couple of days ago, the WWE uploaded an alternate camera angle version of that, and it shows you the Titantron, and what the crowd obviously saw that we didn't on television, or the network, was that it says, I am, and then the word phenomenal, and they just fucking went mental. I don't know why that didn't make air on the network, or television. I don't know, because Kevin Dunn's supposed to be a master of these things, you can't imagine that being a fuck up at this stage. Like, WWE is so slick. Like, they have, to the extent that, like, the stars become predictable and stale, but they're always on the mark. They always nail what it is they're intending to do. So I don't know quite whether that was a fuck up or they just wanted to create a spectacle. I actually kind of enjoyed the fact that Roman Reigns is just looking at the entrance. Then you hear this nuclear fucking pop and you're like, what the hell's going on? And then they jump to it. But it doesn't seem like WWE to intentionally actually do that. Anyway, Styles was fucking awesome. Good to see him in the Rumble. One disturbing thing, or a disturbing reality of AJ Styles is when he tried to do the Stars Clash on, I think it might have even been, was it Roman Reigns? I think it was Roman Reigns. And like, Roman Reigns is just so fucking big, or more importantly, Styles is just so fucking small that looked ridiculous. Also, due to his legacy of now breaking necks in Japan, I wonder if they're going to let him actually execute the Stars Clash, or it's going to be like a Hideo Itami thing where you get some position for the GTS, but it never actually happens. So that's interesting. Anyway, what else happened in the Rumble? A bunch of shit, as it turned out. Didn't really like the Reigns thing of having League of Nations come out and take him out of the Rumble. Like, that, you kind of knew that was coming, but it would have made more sense, I feel, it might have made him look weak, but it would have made more sense to have him stretch it out, because then at that point, like, it was against his will kind of thing. He's knocked out, they took him back for his own protection. It's weird to see Roman Reigns, this triumphant babyface, in the face of authority, sort of gingerly limp backstage, and it took him about fucking 5 minutes to leave the ringside area. Like, that's weird. Then he and they didn't do this. They followed up on Raw, although I suppose they can't because he lost, but there's no indication of him being like, ha ha ha, I've got one over on you, authority. It's just this moment of him like a scolded dog just running, scurrying away backstage, and he's coming back later. That was weird, strange booking on that part. What was awesome fucking booking was the goddamn end, in my opinion. I'm a Triple H mark. Compliments of NXT, compliments of just him generally being awesome. And yes, the shovel, the burying, whatever. We can moan about Triple H all day long, but like modern day Triple H is fucking giving back way more than he ever took, in my opinion. I can probably debate that, but for the creation of NXT, putting over Daniel Bryan. All the years at WrestleMania, he put over fucking Benoit, not Booker T, but, he put over a lot of people. Batista, John Cena, like the man made stars. You might not like it, but he did. Anyway, comes out, massive pop, we all knew this was going to happen. It's like, but at the same time, you always got that feeling in your stomach of like, what if they do go the most boring route? Like, this is the most predictable route, Triple H's return. What if they go the boring route and actually have Reigns fucking retain? Like, no disrespect to Reigns, but he just isn't over to the level he needs to be to do that Austin thing of like running the gauntlet and wiping out everyone in the Rumble. You just can't do that. If they had have done that, he would have been fucked, because he'd have nuclear heat worse than he did at last year's Mania, worse than he did at last year's Rumble. So this was the right decision. Triple H comes out. Triple H, not like, I mean, the man's getting old now. He's in his mid to late 40s. Not the greatest performance ever. He doesn't look like he used to look. I know his training regime's completely different nowadays, because he doesn't train for mass. He trains for like performance and cardio. This is to do with something to do with like, I think he's a UFC trainer, isn't he? I don't remember. But anyway, wins the match, bails out Roman. Cool mark out moment. Fans pop. Interesting, exciting end to the Rumble, and a really, exciting build for Mania is starting to unfold now, which was super cool. I also watched Raw. I always kind of skip through Raw because it tends to be, ever since they went 3 hours, or ever since fucking Jesus Christ, like, I don't know, 2006, it's just been shit anyway, but there's a little bit of stuff in there. There's going to be a triple threat at Fastlane between Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Brock Lesnar. Gee, I wonder what will happen. Perhaps the Wyatt family will cost Lesnar the match. That'll be a thing. I'm assuming Reigns goes over and main events WrestleMania against Triple H, who he will defeat. And, I mean, this is like the lengths, again, for the heat that gets put on Triple H. The lengths that man will go to put people over is fucking ridiculous. The Daniel Bryan feud, granted, it's fair to say a lot of that was probably winged, because you really, really did get the impression that it was more the company wasn't interested in pushing him, rather than like, oh, we were going to push him all along. It's like, nah, I don't think you fucking will. Like, maybe like in the last few months, yeah, but they'd given up on that motherfucker. Like, they had the SummerSlam thing with Randy Orton, and then they started to let him fizzle out. Anyway, it's not about Daniel Bryan. The Royal Rumble is fucking awesome. If you haven't watched it, watch it. If you haven't subscribed to the WWE Network and you're a wrestling fan of WWE specifically, then you're fucking insane. You get a month free, right? So if you haven't subscribed before, get the month free. Actually, I tell you what, fuck getting the month free now. Get the month free in, was it April or March? Whenever WrestleMania, because it's sometimes the end of March, sometimes beginning of April. Get it then, get WrestleMania for free, then make your fucking mind up. But yeah, this has been a stream of consciousness, complete drivel, talking about the Royal Rumble and a little bit of Raw. Like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, please comment. I really want to engage with people about wrestling. Even if you think, like, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Ideally, don't put that. But if you disagree with something I say, then let's get involved in debate. Let's discuss amongst yourselves. It'll be fucking awesome, because wrestling's awesome. I'm awesome. The Miz is lackluster. And you guys, I'm sure, are also awesome. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. See you later.